It'll be clear. Bro. What we hearing about radios?
Okay. So, uh, do you have what you need me to type out?
I texted it to you.
You text it to me. Can I use the iPad?
Okay. But with you. It's already recording.
Yeah, it's recording. Okay.
Welcome to the Loveall Sales Podcast. I just got back from the NADA Academy in McLean's, Virginia, which is right outside of DC, and my mind for one entire week is blown, meaning like everything that they teach me, understand that less than 1% of all automobile individuals go to this academy. And the people that are lucky enough to have experience absolutely love it. I've never met someone who has said anything bad about the academy and what they teach and what they stand for. So understand this. Like, if less than 1% go, and I love learning. I mean, I learn all day, every day. Like every interaction, I learn something from. It's just the way my brain, my mentor, I'm lucky enough to have him teach me like everything's a learning experience. The good stuff, we learn how to replicate it to make it better. The bad stuff, we learn how we to improve on it. Like everything is learning. And I was literally in class. This is week 5. And I was just in class, just like, I'm so fortunate to be coming here. And they broke it down for me because I was like, what percentage of people? They were like 0.0018 of the people in the automobile industry come here. And I know a lot about the auto industry, not as much as some people, but I know a lot, way more than most people. And my brain was thinking if 0.0018 only get to come here, that means that I'm in the less than 1%. And then on top of that, the stuff that I learn, I can share with my students in the dealerships that I teach and train and mentor. So I am basically using this knowledge to help other individuals level up their game. Some people will go there and they don't have the power to truly change when they go back to their dealership, meaning like if they're just a general sales manager, not every GM is going to be open to all of their ideas. Me right now, I'm not working inside a dealership. I am just going there. I'm paying for it in my own pocket. It's roughly speaking, every time I go, it's about $6,000 to $7,000. That includes the staying at the Ritz, which everybody goes and stays at the Ritz for the most part. That's the airline flight out there. That is the academy. That is the food. Like just for the entire week, $6,000 to $7,000, and you've got to do to complete it to graduate. You got to do 6 weeks. So if you add all of that up, 6 times 6 is 36 grand. So I would say probably around $40,000 is what I am personally paying for to invest in myself, so I can use this information to give back to my students, to give back to the dealerships. And why is that so important? Is because I just got off the phone with one of my best friends. His name is Thomas Berry, call him TB. And Thomas Berry, he was watching one of my TikTok videos. And inside the video, there's a gentleman, and he's somewhat mentally defeated. He just started car sales, and he's just somewhat mentally defeated because he's only 2 months into it, and yet he's just getting kicked and kicked and kicked. When I say kicked, I mean like no, no, no. And it's starting to mess with him mentally. And Tommy TB, He remembers when I first got into sales, meaning selling over the phone. I would cold call three, four, five, 600 people a day. No automatic dialers. That's me actually punching plastic and just going. And a lot of times I would get a hold of the receptionist first. Um, and I had to learn how to win them over very quick to then get to the decision maker. Then I had to learn how to really get them earn the right to continue the conversation, is what my mentor would say. I had to learn the right to do that, and less than 1% of the people that I would ever call would even equal a deal, like less than 1%. So you have to understand, when I was making three, four, five, 600 phone calls a day, sometimes you might make that many phone calls and you would get nothing. And I mean nothing, because it's one of the hardest things to do, selling an intangible asset to these people that have millions of dollars. It's very frustrating. Sales is completely different, where you're giving them a tangible asset, meaning the car. Yeah, you got to learn to deal with no's, but you don't get as many no's as I had to deal with. So the way that I look at it is like selling cars is easy. It truly is. I don't know anybody else that used to really do what I do that now sells cars. I don't. So when I walked into the automobile industry, I'll never forget it. My first day, I started on the 16th of 1 month, and I'm very just aware. That's one of my strong suits. I'll just pay attention to things. And I'll never forget it. I was, the first few hours, you kind of just don't know what to do. Like, most people don't train. They're like, all right, here, go to work. And I was just really observing the first few hours. And all I noticed was people literally just waiting for people to show up, meaning they're being more reactive. Um, they're waiting for the phone to call. They're waiting for internet leads. They're just basically waiting for things. They're not going out there and making things happen. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I already had a game plan after the first few hours. I was like, just give me people to call. I'm very good on the phone. And then I'll do this, because my thought process is you might wait all day to get one or two people. Sometimes you don't even get that. And I know that my goal was 120, 150 phone calls, that I would talk to X number of people. I didn't know the stats back then. Now I know it's about 10 to 18% of the people. So I know for a fact that if I call, just say 100 people, I'm going to talk to 10 to 18 people. Would you rather wait for things to happen, talk to one or two, or would you rather make things happen, call a lot of people? Yeah, it's a lot more work, but things in life, you gotta, to get huge results, you gotta take massive action. And I'm okay with that. And that's what I thought. And I remembered at the end of the month, I was the number one salesperson at the dealership. I sold 21 cars, didn't take any lot ups. I got a few internet leads, but yet again, that was my thought process. So I had a vision, meaning just make a lot of phone calls. My goal was 120 to 150 a day, and I did it every day. If I wasn't there in front of somebody trying to sell them, I was on the phone prospecting. So many people just don't prospect, and that's their biggest challenge, why they don't reach as much success as they can. So understand this, like, the reason why that they don't take massive action is because no one's really trained them how to be really effective on the phone, because most managers are not good on the phone. um, I mean this in the most humble way. I'm better than 99.9% of every single person that you will ever meet that picks up the phone, because that's what I used to do for a living. And I did it to the highest level, meaning like my best year ever selling over the phone was making just shy of $1 million, like 900 something thousand. And I learned how to like use psychology. I learned how to earn the right to continue the conversation. I learned how to win people over. I had to do all of that because it was the only option. So selling cars to me is easy. The phone is now easy to me. And TB said something else to me. When I first started, I sucked, just like anybody, I sucked. And I can't tell you, and TB like brought this up, like, and that's the reason why I'm talking about this in this, podcast, if you're watching it or if you're listening to it. And I can't tell you how many nights that me and TB, Tommy, we would stay up to 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because I was determined to get to where I wanted to go faster than not training. Most people don't do that. I'll never forget that a lot of nights, like I didn't have any money. I could ask the owner, I could ask my parents, I could have asked people for some money to buy food. I chose not to because I wanted to feel like me and my dogs, two Jack Russells, Remy Martin, that was their name, Remy and Martin. And I'll never forget that I chose to literally eat mac and cheese for months because that's how bad I wanted it. Because I was like, and I still eat mac and cheese to this day, which is crazy, but not as much. But I wanted to go through the pain to get to the other side of being able to truly support, like, and do whatever I wanted to do. Right now, I'm battling, stage 3 rectal cancer. And the reason why I say that is because, like, life is so precious. Life is so, like, it's what you make out of it. So many people just have excuses like, my dealership doesn't train. Well, then do it yourself. The market is bad. Then pick up the phone and start dialing. Like most people always have an excuse to why that they can't get to where they want to go. I was lucky enough to have a mentor, yes. But yet again, like if I didn't have one, I promise you I would have figured it out on myself. Um, and even now, like me having my own business, I have a few mentors that I literally pay for them to help me build my business faster because I don't want it to take as long. So investing in yourself is the number one asset that got me to where I am. I'm one of the best salespeople that you will ever meet in your entire life. And so many managers, there's one student that just signed up in my program and her manager told her basically not to do it. There's so much free information, and he's correct, but that's also kind of like just dabbling your foot in the water. Me, I'm an all in type person. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's why I walked away from working inside the car dealership to going 100% all in on starting my sales training company, and it's blown up. It took me 2 months to kind of, yeah, and then the last 3 months, I've blown up. Like I have students reaching out to me now to sign up. I have dealerships reaching out to me to sign up. Um, Most of the dealerships, pretty much all the dealerships that I have signed up, their students, their employees, salespeople signed up first, had like a huge amount of success. And because of that success, they're like, what's happened? And then they tell them about me and they're like, let me put me in contact with him. And then they sign up for their dealership so I can train their other salespeople. So that's what it takes to succeed. But going back to it, like I remember hearing no so many times. Imagine like if you're making 3, 4, 5, 600 phone calls a day, how many, I don't know, I don't have the stats in front of me to tell you, but it was dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of no's every single day. And I remember like it got to a point like it started messing with me mentally, like it did, like up here, your mind's the most important aspect, and it truly started messing with me. And there's certain people around you that and TB was part of them. Torker, TB, Tommy, all his names. He was like, buddy, just keep going. But also the determining factor of me going as well is I seen all kinds of other salespeople crushing it, making 50, 60, 70, $80,000 a month or more. And I knew deep down inside, I'm always just like my mindset. I'm not the jealous person. If they can do it, I can do it. And if they can do it, I can do it even better. And I'll never forget when my mentor told me this, and I can still literally remember and hear his voice. He was like, hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work hard, imagine if you had both. I sucked at sales, as I mentioned before. It took me 3 months to get my first sale doing what I used to do. 3 months. Most of the times, he fires people after 1 month. Um, he didn't give up on me because he's seen the work ethic and he's seen what I was putting into it. it took me a lot longer to catch on than other people, but yet again, when it did, it was over. And, we trained every day. We would at right after lunch, 1 o'clock, he had a big oval table, and he would sit right here, and I was always the person to the left. And we recorded our phone calls, and it was a cassette tape. And mine was always the first one queued up in there, meaning I'd get there a few minutes early before the meeting started. I put it in the cassette player, and he would, because he knew it was me every single day. And then he would, what I did good, what I did bad, and didn't beat, not a beat up session. Um, you can never beat your people up. You can, help them, but you can never beat them up, because you can only beat people up like so much from like a mental aspect until they just believe it and they give up. Some managers host meetings and they just beat people up. You cannot do that. Like, you're going to create a negative culture. That's how you have a high turnover rate. We're going off the subject, but I know some managers, I've been a part of some dealerships, some managers that believe in that, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. I'm one of the most positive people in the entire world. Like anybody that knows me, like I am always happy, always go lucky, and it will even mess with my own head, like sincerely. And I've been a part of managers that's done that, and I'm like, what the heck? So I know if it messes with me, other people that are not as good as sales, and then people that are not as happy, it will kill them. Like that's how people leave the industry. So it's like the old saying, people don't leave the company, they leave the managers. So, like going back to it, like this whole podcast was truly about, you know, like having a strong foundation is probably the best way to put it. What is a foundation? A foundation is your skill set. A foundation is your attitude. A foundation is your work ethic, your processes. Like all of this stuff makes you, your foundation. And so many people just have excuses. That's basically a storm excuse if you want to look at it that way. It can be, like I speak with so many people, that I try to like help coach, and they always have excuses. And I'm never the one to have excuses. They're like, I'm in a small market. We don't have a lot of inventory. Just whatever it is. Like, we don't sell a lot of cars. There's 22 sales, whatever it is. It's just an excuse. And I'll lead it up to this story, okay? I'll never forget the day that I agreed to work at a Volkswagen dealership. I knew the owner, and he just bought this dealership. And I know in my abilities to sell. And so many people, the dealership that I was leaving, it was like, you're literally going to leave a dealership that sells 150 cars a month to go to a car that sells 40 cars a month? That doesn't make any sense. Like, and just so many people like just saying like, no, it's not a good idea. No. And I didn't listen to them because I believe in my abilities. I believe in my work ethic. I believe in my foundation. And I know if I do everything that I am used to doing, it's going to work. Um, the first month we sold 90 cars. I sold 30 cars, 30 something cars, whatever it was. Um, and because of, I don't want to say just me because it's not, but if you have someone that is a very high level performer, you pull up all of these other people. And it's just like the opposite goes in effect as well. If you have like negative people, then they pull down everybody else. Well, I'm happy, I'm very good. So I was bringing everybody else up. I was doing all of the TOs, didn't ask for half a deals. And, I was bringing everybody up. Um, and then to go, steps further, and this took me years. I was there for 5, 6 years, whatever it was, and I got to, a year and a half into it, and I was selling 50 to 60 cars a month. And you got to think, like, I sold more cars in a month than they used to sell all month long. Um, I'll never forget this, and I've told this story, a decent bit, as like I love him to death. His name is Stephen Mayfield. Um, the owner of the dealership, the one who brought me in, he absolutely loved me back then. We had a big falling out, another story in itself. But he was bragging on me to the old number one salesperson, Stephen Mayfield. And Stephen was like, the first time our first interaction together, he was like, you're not going to beat me. And I was like, okay, why? And he was like, because you don't know the product. Like, the product is a byproduct. It's not the most important aspect of the sale. You are, because of your skills, your ability, your foundation is what sets you apart. So, you know, if you would have asked 100 people, 99 of them would have said, maybe 98 would have said that I would never sell 50 to 60 cars, best month 64 and a half. No one would ever said I could have made $400,000 out of a super small Volkswagen dealership, which they have a very small market share, road share, meaning like more people buy Ford, Chevys, GMCs, Toyotas, Hondas, like, even more people buy CDJR, Nissans than Volkswagens. Um, but I never used that as an excuse or a crutch. I believed in my foundation, my abilities, and I was on a mission. Um, so everybody that is watching this or listening to this, like, how good is your foundation? I promise you this much: like, if you are a salesperson, if you are a dealership, you are a BDC. Um, I can help you so much. We all need mentors in our life. We all need somebody, and you might have a great manager right now. Hat goes off to you, but having someone of my capabilities teaching you sales, the psychology behind the sales, how to master the process, how to ask better questions, how to truly teach you sales. I've done sales for 23 years, and I am better than 99.9 of all salespeople out there. And I am a very humble person. So it takes a lot for me to say that, but I know that deep down inside. Your manager might be good. Great. Odds are he's not as good as me. If you are listening to this and you're a manager, like, I love you. I'm not talking stuff. I just know in my abilities um, of truly like doing what I do. And I just know deep down inside, every single student that has signed up for my program has won in a massive way, because I'm phenomenal at sales, but also I'm a phenomenal teacher. So not every great player is a great coach. I'm very lucky where I'm a very good communicator. I'm very good at being aware, reading people's body languages. So when I'm doing Zoom meetings, like, what's catching on to this person? Like, I can just read people very, very good. That's probably me going back and reading dozens, hundreds of psychology books. Um, I'm just a student of the game. I love learning. I've spent so many years investing in myself, 23 years, and it's made me where it's kind of just like slow motion, the sales. Um, I absolutely love sales. I love teaching sales. I'm battling cancer, like I mentioned. And yet, when I talk about sales, like right now during this podcast, I don't even think about me having cancer unless I bring it up to kind of like tell a story or prove a point. Like, it's sales has been so good to me and my family. I come from absolutely nothing, nothing, and I've earned every single thing that I've got. Um, I'm going to build a huge, huge sales training company. That is my mission. What I am doing right now. Um, this is going to sound completely weird to some people, but other people will get it, so that's why I'll share it. And that is like the main reason why I walked away from working inside a dealership, growing a sales team or dealerships, is because, like, I truly found out that I had cancer for the second time. And deep down inside, like, I had something just pulling me and telling me, like, this is the path that you need to go down, meaning to do a sales training company. Don't want to say like God spoke to me, the Holy Spirit spoke to me, not saying that, but like, it's like that, but it's not like that. Like, it was just something like, do this, like, just this is what you need to do. And I can't tell you how many um, text messages, phone calls that I get that I have already in 5 months changed dozens of people's lives, and we're just starting. The dealerships that I am helping, like changing their lives too. So students and dealerships, like everything that I teach, it works because I've mastered it over 23 years. I hope a lot of people that are listening to this, like truly reach out to me and just give me the opportunity. I'm going to be doing something, and this is the first time, like on record, that I am saying it. Okay. So I have a sales training like program. It's called a 60-day total recreation boot camp. It's 2 months long, and that's like a very intense program. But the results have been huge. So what I'm also going to do, and I thought about this because I know not everybody can afford it. I know deep down inside, if I want to do something, I'm going to figure out a way to make it work. But not everybody feels that way. So for the past 2 months, I've really thought about like how can I help more people, and like I'm going to do something extremely affordable because I want to help more people. Giving back was one of my main goals that I want to do in 2026 going forward. When you have cancer, you think about death. You think about like, God forbid, when I pass, like what will people say about me? The most important thing that I wanted them to truly like he was a good person. He gave back. He helped me like change my life. The part that I know I can change more lives than anything else is sales. And that's why I sincerely believe like this was the direction like I was telling you that I just felt like was to do. Um, what I'm going to do is $200 a month. Um, I personally spent $40,000 to be able to use Lightspeed. Lightspeed is Brad Lee's company, dropping bombs. He has his own podcast, like Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone's. The biggest of the biggest names use him. I like. I probably, looking back, should have used a different platform. I just wanted to really create, what's the best word? I just wanted to like have people be like, well, you know what? He spent all of this money. He's using this company. He must know what he's talking about because I could have used things that could have spent, $1,000. The credibility is probably the best word. So I spent all of this money and I have so much content in there. So the content is videos. The videos is how to sell cars, how to sell. Like some people, I'm helping a RV dealership. I'm helping like a power sports dealership. It applies to the same industries because it sells, but primarily automotive. And there's so much content in there. It can teach a new person. It can teach an experienced person, a veteran, anybody that wants to learn more to get a better foundation, to sell more cars, make more money, but also just understand why we ask certain questions, how to master your process. So $200 a month, you're going to get full access to every single course that I have in there, which is probably 100 hours plus of content, insane amount. And then on top of that, I'm going to do a one time a week Zoom meeting. And my goal at the end of the year is to have multiple days to do this, but I'm going to start off by just one day a week. Meaning, like, why I say multiple is because I want like to build it where it gets hundreds and hundreds of salespeople in one meeting, and then we go to another day and another day because I just love sales. I can talk about it forever. I can answer questions. Like going back to it, I remember just hearing no, 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 no so many times. And me and Tommy, TB, we would stay up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, literally just figuring out ways how to overcome it. I take my phone calls, so we would play back, and I'm like, oh, I missed this. I missed this. Like, I can't tell you how many hours I have invested in myself over 23 years. Like, I would love to sincerely know. Like, it's tens of thousands, hundreds. Like, I don't know. but I know it's a lot, way more than 99.9% of other salespeople. I'm not including like just going to work and actually working. I'm talking about hours actually like invested in myself. Would you like to have somebody like that teach you? Um, you would be crazy not to, like sincerely. So $200 a month. I don't know what day it's on. It's going to be where, you know, like anything, it's going to be where you're going to get full access to the training portal. Then one day a week, let's just say for 90 minutes, we're going to get together and you're going to be able to ask questions. We're going to role play. You can tell me about your day and what people said to you, meaning like basically what they said that stumped you where you didn't get a sale or an appointment. And I'm going to help you figure out a way to overcome all of that for $200 a month. I am literally going to help you change you and your family's financial future. And I will say this, the better you get at sales, the better your outside life gets because then you have confidence, then you're making more money, and it's just a snowball effect where then your wife, your kids, your life outside of work just starts just, it's like it's magic. And my mentor always told me that, and I was like, but now I truly get it. So I'm going to start making a podcast today. Um, Today's was pretty much like building a foundation. I went to church this morning and the senior pastor, Kyle Eidelman, it just really hit home. And everything that I really take in, I kind of always relate it to sales. And I'm like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. So I kind of stole his thunder today, but yet again, I did it in a good way. So please, and I sincerely mean this, please, if you are in sales, if you are a salesperson, if you are a manager, if you are a GM, an owner, like I give you my word. I know we don't know each other probably, but my word means a lot. And I give you my word in the terms of if you are a salesperson, I will change your life. If you are a manager, I will change your salespeople's life and I will teach you how to manage in a more effective way. We can always get better, including myself. If you were an owner and you have multiple dealerships, like I'd love to connect with you. Um, Something that one of my strongest attributes as well is I just love connecting with people, not even about sales, but just talking to people. And when we were in class a couple of days ago I think it was Friday, so 2 days ago, I think it was Thursday or Friday. Um, it was Friday actually. And at NADA Academy, they were hosting like a meeting and then they handed out like these cards, 3x5 cards, and they gave it to the person next to it. And they were like, I want you to write down one word, the person to the right of you, what do you feel like their best attribute is? And the person that got me that was sitting to my left, he put connections because he knows that I love connections. I love interacting with people. I love bringing people together. It's so rewarding. Like I remember the night before, this individual works at his name is Derek. Okay. He works at a very big dealership. They sell a lot of Chevys. But also, I know that there is a gentleman that works. His name is CJ Ramza. He works at the number one Chevy dealership in the entire world. They sell, like, I think last month, like 1,050 Chevys. And then they sold like 400 or 500 used, so about 1,500 cars. So then I was like, hey, CJ, come over here, come over here. And then I connected those two. So then they started talking ideas and, but I love people. I love connecting people. I love just, your network is your net worth, as the old saying goes. Um, so build a foundation that can withstand anything. That can be even your foundation outside of work, meaning like your marriage. It needs to be so strong because you got to think 50% of the world's people that get married, that get divorced now. They don't have a strong foundation. Me and my wife, we are closer than we've ever been. Love her. Absolutely. So please, like, take sales more serious, take your life more serious, have a foundation inside and outside of work. Go hard, go all in. If you are in the sales industry, I would sincerely love to connect with you. You might think, oh, I got all kinds of experience and this and that. Just give me the opportunity, and I promise you, I can help you. If you're a salesperson, I can help you do more. If you're a manager, I can help your dealership move the needle. I'm very, very good. One of the best you'll ever meet, and I mean that in the most humble ways. So I've talked long enough. I kind of just winged it, had like a game plan, a roadmap, but just kind of winged it. Um, I love you all. God bless. And what I always say, and I absolutely love this saying, is believe in yourself because I do. Have a great day.